but on some TaylorMade players not using the Stealth. Robert McIntyre has been using the Sim 2.
Ooh.
And actually, weirdly, we had the Golf on in the office the other day, and that's the first thing I noticed when he was swinging, that he was using the Sim 2 and not a Stealth. So
They mustn't have left-handed samples yet.
yeah. Is it good, bad, indifferent for TaylorMade? Does it matter? Is it? What do you think?
I think certainly with TaylorMade, because their models are typically very significantly different when they go from a Sim 2 to a Stealth.
Mm-hmm.
That's really noticeable in it. That I don't think you can hide. Like if they went from Sim to Sim 2,
Yeah, you don't see it on the telly as much.
You're not batting an eyelid really because you can't tell.
Yeah,
but from this time when you're going from a blue head cover, a Stealth, a Sim 2 with not the red face, the black face, and you go with red head cover, red face. You know, it's always a trick that I don't massively like. I bet he probably had a Stealth head cover on.
Yeah, they often do. Well, it was like the Open when Morikawa won. He wasn't using a Sim 2 driver, he had a Sim. I think it's a weird one for me. In some ways, you could say you respect the brand for allowing, if that's the right term, the athletes to use a driver that's right for them. And ultimately, as long as they're using a TaylorMade product, it doesn't really matter. But I also think it should open the eyes of the golfers, the consumers, that these guys out on tour who are playing golf for a living want every single marginal gain they can get, whatever it might be.
A yard,
half a yard, a bit of butt. Like, just why would they not? Like, these are the people that need every little gain they can have. So if there's athletes who are choosing not to use the new product for whatever reason, it obviously for them, you wouldn't think right now is gaining them anything. Makes you think, doesn't it? Why should the average consumer be that bothered about a new driver?
Correct. And again, you might see differences if you're using a 5-year-old one compared to one now. I do think you'd see differences, but year on year, it's so teeny tiny. Almost hard to measure.
Do you think as well, though, it almost looks worse for a TaylorMade? Because like brands like Titleist, I can't remember if it was Adam Scott that was using the old driver for ages. I can't quite remember, but like it happens with Titleist a lot.
He had the old irons in the bag forever.
And the ball, you know, there's guys on tour, I think, who use like 2013 Pro V1, 2015, 2017. So again, you could argue, well, if the new 2021 Pro V1 is much better, why are they not using it? But it feels like with brands like TaylorMade, you know, and Callaway as well, who have such huge claims and such mass marketing campaigns. And this year, I've been into a few golf shops, as you have as well, obviously. The marketing materials around Stealth, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Black and red balloons on display.
It's gone huge.
They almost feel like they're tying it in with a bit like Valentine's Day as well.
Maybe. The last time, well, I'm sure, I feel like that really happened a lot around the R11 era. I remember R11 and the RBZ, there was loads of promotion. And this obviously is the way it's gone again. So it really does feel like there's a lot of people talking about Stealth, interested in Stealth. I'm sure going to be trying it. But obviously some of the best players in the world aren't using it.
Yeah. And like I say, you can't hide it.
No.
I wonder how much it's written into contracts.
It does seem to me very peculiar that like when you see the shoots with... So when they do those videos now, which I think are really good on YouTube, you've got Tiger, well, not got Tiger at the moment, but you did have Tiger, but now you've got Sergio, Tommy, Matt Wolff, Dustin, Rory, miss anybody, I'm sure, Morikawa, that's 6. Might be 1 or 2 others, I can't quite remember.
Probably about right.
They all, I think, have got it in the bag. Yeah. Now, is that they are the top guys, almost are told, we're going to give you X amount of year more, but you have to have it in the bag. Yeah,
there's no choice.
Yeah.
Where like a Robert McIntyre can kind of sneak under the radar a little bit.
But then on the other way of looking at it is, does that, if the fact that they are putting it in the bag, could that be perceived that it's no different? If these golfers who are playing again for the living and won every yard, if they just happily just go, okay, I'll use it then, it's just the same as last year's, really.
Yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Interesting topic.